I like it when sequels can be just as good as the original. Maybe just slightly below, but that's really not that bad. Especially when you have a sequel. When days turn into weeks, the horror returns 28 days later. When the order restored in the war against the Infection 1, the U.S. Army steps in to help repatriate mainland Britain. But one of the returning refugees carries a terrible secret that threatens to reignite the deadly explosion of bloodlust, carnage, and chaos. And you can obviously tell this was a copy DVD, but it has subtitles. So this, although it's is not exactly the greatest DVD quality, it's not bad. It's acceptable, yeah. So, whereas on the first one, you have the minimalism done right with the build up and execution. This one, we decide to okay, where can we go from here? So ultimately, it's determined to be, hey, let's just make everything that was so great, but add what feels like the logical storyline, rather than just repeating everything. Let us have the NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, come in and help rebuild it, and because the U.S. and the U.K. are allies, except for Northern Ireland. But yeah, here you're creating a place to go, and obviously there's increased military presence, which is to be expected because you don't want any of the infected to return. But then, lo and behold, two kids decide to go because they want to see a picture of their mother, because the younger kid is forgetting what she looks like, which is obviously a thing. But at the same time, it's like, you really want to risk reinfecting everyone? It's like, that's dumb. They see the mother. She's got some type of, I'm trying to remember. She's got some type of special gene where she can be bitten, but she will be fine. It's that type of stuff going. It's that trope or convention, I guess, where you can say where there's the person that kind of gets away from what the different gene. That's it. So that's fine. But it's here when we get the military involvement as they're trying to quarantine everyone. Things just get plunged into chaos, man. I mean, you're just looking at it and it's like, what the heck is going on here? We get the good stars. We get really good performances from the son and the daughter, because it's like we're getting into a whole new level of sympathy, because it's like this is like a new place where they have to live, but then when things get thrown into chaos, it's like, what's going to happen? No one really knows. So the military gets involved, and there's two different factions happening. One that wants to protect them, and one that wants to have them quarantined, I guess is the word, and with ulterior motives. So it becomes an intensity of who's the right one, who's the wrong one, and things just unravel from there. It's just absolutely holy smokes, Yeah. But there's a lot more action in this one, and it worked for me. It worked for me. It's like, yeah, we get to see what's going on. We get a lot more carnage, I guess is the word, of the infections happening. We get to see what is supposed to be like a new utopia, but ultimately it's kind of it's a failed utopia, I think the trope is, because it's like with the increased military presence and what is supposedly safe ultimately is not, because of said reasons, but it could work. So say what you will about that. And it's obviously this is the new humanity coming in, and what happens when these children are affected. So, it's like the genetic modification, all that stuff. And it works out. It works out here. It's like I like this one, but I just prefer the original one just a little bit more. But at the same time, it's like I'm willing to overlook it because the characters here are pretty good, especially when you just care enough about the snipers, military team, especially when they execute Operation Code Red, which is pretty much just eliminate, because who the heck knows who's infected and who's not, because the idiot dad decided to kiss his wife and he becomes contaminated. What a freaking yutz. That's gotta be a truly dumb movie decision. It's just like, ugh. So, eventually you follow where the kids go, and I would say probably in like the last, 30 minutes or so, when everything starts to slow down enough is when you really start to see all the intense stuff going on, particularly when they're in like a subway station or whatever, and they're descending the stairs. There's a lot of tension because it's just a woman with night vision sniper rifle as she's guiding the kids to go down, and ultimately one of them, they don't get injured, but one of them gets bitten. It's just like, it's just like an oh shit moment, So it's like, well, what the heck just happened? It's just a whole bunch of carnage and chaos going on. Holy smokes. So, obviously, you got all the fight, and then ultimately they appear at Wembley Stadium, and it was like, I was not expecting to see an abandoned, trash-strewn Wembley Stadium there, and ultimately the two remaining people get rescued, but then we also discover that the virus has spread out to mainland Europe, so it's just like, holy smokes, So yeah. How do I feel about this one overall? Well, like I said, it's definitely a good, worthy successor and follow-up. Music is freaking great. There's a lot of intensity, the synth and everything else that's going on. So, I mean, it's just, I prefer the original one a little bit more. I just think that the minimalism and the build-up here worked out this one. Zoom, you get like going in like a 45 miles per hour lane. But then once the contagion happens and things just instantly start hitting 75 mph, whatever that is in kilometers, I don't know. And it just works out really well. But because this is a not terrible DVD transfer, but at the same time, I will want to see the cityscape in a Blu-ray. I think I would get a better appreciation for it if I saw it on a Blu-ray. So you never know for right now, but at the same time, with all these movies I've been watching, I honestly just need a break. And of course, you're wondering, what about 28 years later? That's coming up. That is coming up probably later. So yeah, definitely a good, worthy successor and follow-up and everything else. 28 weeks later.